President Sprouse, trustees, advisors, esteemed faculty, alumni, guests, and most of all, graduates. Thank you. There are no words to describe my joy at receiving the honorary degree being bestowed upon me today, more than 20 years since I first set foot on the New York School of Interior Design 70th Street campus, other than, oh my God. To say that I am grateful is an understatement. But enough about me. We're here to celebrate you. I want you to look at the person on your left. Now, look at the person on your right. And what do you three have in common other than your extraordinary good looks? You're superheroes. Everyone in this room, and I speak to the graduates, I don't know about all y'all out there, everyone in this room is a superhero because we've all been given an incredible superpower. We are creators. We have the supernatural ability to see a completed room where there is nothing, to see light where darkness is before us, to look at 12 finishes and instinctively know that there's just one that's right. If most people dream in soft pastels, and they do, we dream in Technicolor brights. If there are 111 students graduating today, I can guarantee you that we have 111 different ideas of what constitutes the perfect white. The universe has given you an incredible gift, and as you go forth into the world now, brilliantly trained, I ask you to remember one thing. Superheroes, superpowers are always given to them to be shared. Otherwise, they have no value. What if Superman just leapt over tall buildings to impress Lois Lane? What if Spider-Man just stayed at home on his sofa eating flies? What if Captain Marvel was Captain Me? Your successes as designers, creators, and innovators will be built upon the incredible foundation of knowledge that the college has provided you. But Scripture teaches us to first get wisdom and then with it get understanding. Now, you or your parents have tuition bills that prove that you have gotten wisdom. But now you're going to get understanding by going out into the world and looking. I want you to be a visual sponge. Go everywhere and look analytically at everything you see. I learned about proportion when I worked for Peter Marino by pestering his in-house furniture designer with 20,000 questions about the dimensions he specified in his drawings. This was my favorite way to spend my lunch break, much to his chagrin. And here's another confession. As a neophyte designer, I hated Art Deco. Loathed does not begin to describe my feelings for Art Deco. But it's our job as interior designers to serve our clients by interpreting their vision for their homes and not just imposing our stylistic will on them. You know, dictatorial design is a no-no. So I knew that Art Deco I would have to learn to love. I spent nights at Barnes & Noble, so this is obviously before the internet, studying the shapes, colors, and textures that made Art Deco chic. Here's your last class tip. Write this down. Any three-dimensional structure can be broken down into those three things: shape, color, and texture. So when it gets rough, break it down to those three, you're good to go. It took a lot of work, but today Barbara Streisand, one of the world's greatest collectors of Art Deco furniture, seconded only, of course, by Cher, called me to do an Art Deco house. I'd be able to give her one that she adored. Your takeaway here is that your eye is a muscle. The more you train it, just like your biceps, the better it becomes. I want you to go forth and see the world, even if you just travel online. Because it's that trifecta of sight, and remember, sight is developed by exposure. The more you see, the more you know. That's the way y'all went on all those field trips. Knowledge, and also the commitment to serve your client, whomever your client may be. And if you are starting your first job next week, your main client will be your crazy boss. get ready, that distinguishes a great designer from a merely good one. Graduates of the class of 2019, the industry today has enough good designers. I want everyone that's sitting in this auditorium to become a great designer. As designers, we've been given a gift that not everyone has, because if they did, no one would pay us to do it. So while it's important to share your creativity with folks who can write big checks, nothing will ever feel better than sharing it with people who can't. It's an honor and privilege for us to enter most people's most sacred space, their homes, and to transform them into nurturing wombs that send them off into the world every day and then welcome them warmly at the day's end. You know, having a beautiful space to call home is radically transformational, and it's one of the reasons that makeovers are my truest love. In 2004, when Oprah was launching her new magazine, O at Home, which is the sister publication to her O magazine, they called to see some of my work. And at the time, I was a contributing editor at Elle Decor. They had right of first refusal for my project. So I said, well, I can't do that, but I love doing makeovers. Well, they replied, we already have someone who does those. But a week later, they called back with news. I'd been chosen to design their Good Works makeovers, and I did 11 of them, going into charitable institutions and making over spaces that still just flow with love. My Good Works makeovers for Oprah are among my most favorite projects ever because I got to share my creative gifts with folks that, quite frankly, would have never gotten a chance to work with a professional designer in their lifetime had Oprah not been picking up the check. Because well-designed spaces change lives. Graduates of the class of 2019, you are great, but I want to leave you with the secret of being even better still, and that is soul. If you will seek the soul of everything that you do, of your clients, of a table, of a tree whose colors you look to for inspiration, or of a child that just asked for a pretty pink bedroom, if you will seek the soul and not yourself, and whatever you create, you will be unstoppable. And that, graduates, is my wish for your future and everything you do. Thank you endlessly for this honor, and congratulations, class, on your marvelous achievements. Thank you. Thank you.